Hi, in today's tip I want to share with you an idea that will help you get a restful night's sleep. And as you know, sleep is absolutely essential if you ever want to become a Time Lord. In our busy, ultra-scheduled lives, many people long for more hours in the day, and just as many wish there were more hours in the night. Yet research shows that overall we're sleeping less and going online more. Yet sleep plays a crucial role in learning and development for us adults just as much as it does for children. Sleep gives our brains the much needed distraction-free time to sort and file our day's sensory and emotional experiences into the various storage systems around our brain. Whilst we're away with the fairies, our brain is busy at work in REM mode. Every waking minute, our brain is being bombarded with millions of pieces of information. So for instance, navigating yourself to work, writing notes in a meeting, having conversations, noticing people's facial expressions, their voice tone, their body language, remembering our to-do list, remembering to actually do our to-do list. And when we sleep, our brains put the rest of our autonomic bodily functions on slow motion, so that it's got the necessary energy to work on integrating today's information and inputs. Be they emotional or cognitive. What information needs to go into long-term storage and what needs put in the trash bin, so to speak, such as memories of the less than useful things that might have grabbed your attention during the day. For instance, that video you watched of a cat licking its doodahs. Not enough sleep means the brain isn't given enough time to store those files properly, and that leads to negative effects in terms of our brain's ability to use some of its higher order functions. So preparing our brains for sleep is one of the most important habits we need to nurture, so that we can improve the quality of our sleep so that our brain can do its job more effectively. Darkness tells our brain it's time to go to sleep, yet any device that emits blue light and maybe giving our brain a little hit of dopamine is the equivalent of an alarm clock saying, wakey, wakey. And our very first alarm clock was the sun. When the sun came up, people woke up. But as clever as our brains are, they haven't yet developed the ability to differentiate between sunlight and the light emitted from a digital device when we're scrolling through our social media feed. Our brains get confused and triggered by the light and chemical hits, and that means that some of our body's repair functions are switched on at the wrong time of day, and that can have a knock-on effect on other body rhythms. And you can add to that the fact that the visual stimulus also switches on neural networks which wake up other cognitive processes into action. So rather than winding down in the evenings, we actually start winding up our brains with more information when it's designed to be storing old information. And a great way to combat this is to get really disciplined about setting a digital sunset so that we can unplug our minds in preparation for sleep. It's simple. Set an alarm an hour before your ideal bedtime, which of course means you actually have a sleep schedule to begin with. Now for you real junkies out there, you may need to begin with just a 20-minute before you go to bedtime alarm, just so you can wean yourself off of your digital lullaby of choice. You might be thinking, what if I'm a book reader? Will that stimulate me? Well, as long as the book is a physical book and not something that's been read from a device, because studies show that's okay. In addition to other positive sort of habit-forming rituals such as journaling your day, reflecting on the day, gratitude lists, planning the next day, your to-do list or will-do list. Because these activities will actually help the brain mentally unclutter, therefore reducing the brain power needed to carry out its storage duties. So, in short, if you want a shot at a great night's sleep so you can be supercharged the next day, and why wouldn't you, you'd be very wise to turn off all your electronic devices nice and early. Make the choice. Do you want to be entertained or do you want to create the best version of you? It only works, so give it a go. You'll thank me later.